All right, everybody. Welcome. Coffee with a Killer. I think this is episode 29. So I've been doing this show for a while. It's good to see you guys on a Saturday morning. We used to do these on Friday, actually, and it was a lot. We had a lot of shows on Friday. I remember I was doing 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 2 o'clock, all on Friday, like back to back, every hour on the hour, a different call, a different setting, a different meeting. And not gonna lie, it was a lot. So who do we have on today? And real quick, I will ping everybody and make sure that they know that we're here. Who's on today? We got D on. What's up, D? Good to see you. We've got D on. We've got Dan O'Shea on. What's up, buddy? We got Rick on. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So I want to go over some different thoughts with you today. I hope that they would help you in some way, shape, or form. A lot of the calls that I do on Coffee with a Killer are not necessarily directed towards you, more so directed towards myself. So I think of things that are happening in my life. I think of topics that are relevant to me. Okay. So I titled this one, What's the Whole Point? And we lose sight of this often. We forget often. We are a forgetful people. Human beings are forgetful people. We are not perfect. We have very short term memory. So we forget a lot of what the heck is the point. So I'm going to start with what I call the why loop. And this is normally where people fall off a little bit. I normally start with, well, why are you here? Well, I want to get better at trading. Why? Well, I'm struggling. Why? It's almost like having, and I have a very good example of this with a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old. Why? Normally, people, when I question them in this manner, they'll normally fall off after about 3 to 5 whys. Why are you here? Well, I saw a Facebook ad. Okay. Why was that Facebook ad appealing? Well, it said I could be done by 9 o'clock. Why is that important to you? Because I go to work. Okay. Why do you want to do trading? So I can make more money. Okay. Why do you want to make more money? I'm supposed to? Is this making sense? We've got to figure out what the heck the point is, because I feel like a lot of people, they have no idea. And therefore, the second anything goes against them, they're just like, I don't even remember why I was doing this in the first place. For me, that whole loop, let's just use trading as an example, that whole loop, trading physically, manually trading, is only for one thing, is to generate capital. Why? Why trading? Because it's the fastest way, in my opinion, it's the fastest legal way to generate capital that fits my ideal lifestyle. So why trading? Because it fits my ideal lifestyle to generate capital. Why am I doing it? Is just to generate capital. Why? To put more money into automations. Why? Because that buys me freedom. Why? This is where people fall off. It's like right in this area. Why? What are you going to do with that freedom? What's my purpose? What's the whole point? So we have to understand, and I very much recommend you guys go through these processes. Pretend like a 5-year-old's asking you questions. Why? What's the whole freaking point? Okay. Find out where the fall off is. Where do you stop being able to answer that question of why? Okay, so I can have more time freedom. Why? What are you going to do with the time freedom? Well, I guess help people. Why? Because you see what I'm saying? If you don't understand the end goal and the end point, all of the little steps to get there will seem unimportant, will seem unvalidated, will seem irrelevant. A friend of mine named Colby K. His whole theme was remember why you started. It's always baffling to me. Like we see people start and then they're like, dude, I'm here for generational wealth and to get financially free. And they quit 3 weeks later. And I'm like, what changed in the 21 days? I got busy. Okay, so you got busy and it all of a sudden changed your entire freaking purpose? And you gave up your entire purpose because you got busy? One of these two is a lie. Either your purpose was a lie or irrelevant, or your excuse was a lie. Dude, I'm here to change my entire family tree. They quit a month later, and it's like, dude, what happened to changing your family tree? Well, I had something come up at work. That's the reason why you've abandoned this other thing? Why? Find where the fall off is when you're asking yourself that question. It's really important. Okay. Next up, this is one I've struggled with for a while, but this is a really powerful statement. This is who I am, therefore this is what I do. In order to answer that, and in order to say that with any ounce of confidence, you have to know who you are. Okay? I won't make this into like a super long spiritual conversation, but you need to figure out who you are. This is who I am, therefore this is what I do. Jordan, why are you up at 3 o'clock in the morning working on stuff for the community? Because this is who I am. So this is what I'm doing. Jordan, why do you take 10 days, almost coming up on 15 days a month, and completely abandon your own business to do a 5-day challenge? Brother, sister, this is just who I am. So this is what I do. You got to figure that out, because if you don't know who you are, you'll have no idea, no purpose in what you're doing. Well, dude, isn't it really, really, really hard? Isn't there easier ways to make money? Oh my gosh, yes. But very, very, very few things puts me in front of hundreds and hundreds of people every other week where I get to share my message. You guys know what my message is? Somebody take a guess in the chat. I was about to flash you guys and show you my chest tattoo, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I took a second. Glad I took a beat and took a cup of coffee. YouTube has banned you for nudity. It wasn't like nudity. So the next kind of idea here, while you guys are answering the question, the next idea here is I made money so I could what? And then the second thing is, did you do that? People tell me a lot, man. I'm making money so I can. I'm gonna use some random examples. Help people, feed the homeless, work against human trafficking, help people that are in addiction, whatever it might be. And I'm always curious because it's like I'm making money so I could do blank, and I'm always curious. Well, did you do that? Did you do the blank? Yeah, I just had $1,000 payout, Jordan. I passed a prop. I got $1,000 payout. Well, what did you do with $1,000? Well, it just got deposited into my bank account. Okay, back to this is who I am, so this is what I do. Back to all of that. Did you do the thing with the money that you were? The whole point of trading was to make money so you could do blank. Now you have the money. Did you do the blank? So we put all this time and effort and energy into this thing so we can produce X, Y, and Z. But once we have X, Y, and Z, we don't ever do the thing that we set out to do with X, Y, and Z. It's fascinating to me. So what's the whole point? The only reason why I trade at all is to generate capital. There's a lot of ways you guys can generate capital outside of trading. So you need to, in your brain, think about, is this way of generating capital, does this fit my purpose, my calling, my ideal life? For me, very rarely am I still trading after 9 o'clock. So yes, very, very few things in this world can I make, call it 200 to 2000 in an hour legally. So yes, this is in alignment with how I want to generate capital. But the only reason why I trade, nobody is just born to be a trader. That's not any of your purpose, is not to become a trader. Like when God was creating the universe, he didn't say, here's Tara. I've created her to be a day trader and click a button. Here's Rick. Here's Dee. Here's Paul. Here's Nathan. I have created them to go long on NASDAQ. Hell no. That's not your purpose. That's not why you were created. You were created for something completely different and something so much bigger than frickin' NASDAQ or gold or whatever it is. So we use trading as a tool. I use trading as a tool to generate capital. Why? Because I have this engine, I have this machine that you guys are all aware of, where I just generate capital, and sometimes on a daily frickin' basis, I take capital and I put it in to things that give me passive income. Why? Because that gets me financially free. Why? So I can have more time to build the kingdom. Okay? That's it. And that's me. You've got to figure out you. So we know that you're not created to be a day trader. That's not your purpose. We know that trading can be a tool to generate cash. You then take that cash, in my opinion, to buy freedom. Freedom to do what is what I'm saying, is what you need to figure out. Okay? It's like you reach the finish line. You guys are all working towards, there's this number on our dashboard on the homepage, and it says 100% financially free. And I wish I could change that so I can do what? And I wish there was like a big blank space and you guys could type that in. And I wish that on a daily basis, every time you go to the dashboard, that would flash in front of your eyes. I'm 50% of my way to my goal of financially free so that I can. That is what you're supposed to do. We forget that. And we focus on all of these like little, we're in the weeds over here trying to figure out all these little things. We forget this. So if the only reason for trading is to generate capital, it's one of many ways to generate capital. Like you guys might find that honestly, like I make way more capital at my job. And if the only point of generating capital is to put it into automations and passive income vehicles, trading's not the only tool to generate capital, guys. It's a tool that I really kind of enjoy. Again, it fits my time parameters, and it's for the time I put in, it's the best thing I've found out there. But for some of you guys, maybe you do something completely different to generate the capital that you need to get financially free. I've been trying to figure this out. I'm going to end with this. I'm just going to be brutally honest with you guys. Is that cool? And I think people feel this. Like when I'm talking, I think people have figured this out. I don't think they understand why, but I think they've kind of picked up on this. But can I be brutally honest with you guys really quick? I'm assuming you're going to say yes. Everyone always says yes because they're curious on what I'm going to say. I think why I get so fired up, and probably shouldn't, but I get so fired up when I see people give up and I see people quit. And I think that you think that it's a financial thing, like, oh my gosh, Paul just canceled his subscription. How am I going to live without that $149 a month? I was really planning on that $149, Paul, to be able to afford a cigar here in 40 minutes. My life is over. I think that you think it's like a financial thing because you guys are paying for access to the stuff that we have. It's not that. And I've really struggled with this. I get it bothers me so much because I'm constantly asking people, what's your purpose? Like, why are you here? Why are you trading? Why did you sign up? Why did you spend 5 days with me on a challenge and then choose to join Black Gold Trading? And they're telling me these really, really, really heavy things. I'm going to, without any names, obviously, but like, dude, my wife was in a car accident 5 years ago and she's completely immobile. And I like can't, she's paralyzed, can't use the restroom by herself. Um, and like, this is like, I have to be able to take care of her from like 9:30 to, and this is like why trading is so important to me is because of this. Now, imagine like somebody shares that story with you, and then 3 weeks later, they're like, they quit because I got too busy. On me, like, this is a very bad example, but being like the shepherd of this flock, it weighs on me, dude. I had somebody else that said the other day, um, legally or not, we migrated to America because my family was like in um, these camps. This is like over like Africa, Middle East, like these like basically slaves in these camps. And we migrated out of here, and I did this with my family so that my kids wouldn't die. And trading's important to me because of this. Imagine that person quitting 2 weeks later. Like that burden, like that reason, your why. When you share that with people, they share that burden with you. So a lot of people are like, dude, all of your calls come back to like people quitting. And again, it's not about money. It's about people giving up on the end of the questioning, the why, because of blank. I feel like people give up on that dream and that vision and that why so easily. And I've never understood it. Because if your why is so big, which I have a freaking massive why, if your why is so big, but you give up so easily, like I don't understand. And it rubs me the wrong way. Does that make sense? We share in these whys because we're a community and we're a family at Black Gold Trading. Okay. When you're saying you're doing this to, here's another one. I need to retire my mom, who's like 72 years old, that's working multiple jobs, dude. And like by the time she gets home, she looks like she's going to die. When you share that with a community and the community is trying to help you and your mom, it weighs on us. And we share in that burden with you. Is this making any sense? Some heavy stuff, man. We thought this was going to be like a light lighthearted, kind of a silly call. No, man, like I titled it. What's the whole point? Any thoughts? D said financial freedom, to be financially free. Rick said work on your last name, not your first. Huge part of it, dude. Tara said Jesus. Huge part of it. Huge part of it. Your why has to make you cry and get emotional when you think about it to be strong enough. Yeah. So I'm going to wrap up here. Number one, I encourage you guys, next time you have a quiet minute, you're in the car, instead of turning on the radio, I just want you to think before you go to bed. For whatever reason, when I'm laying in bed, there's like a 30-minute like loop in my brain of like all the things. I don't know if you guys can relate to that. But I want you to start asking yourself, I want you to go through this loop and go as far as you can. Why am I here? Why do I show up in the morning or at night to trade? To make money, which is, I'm assuming, why you guys are doing it. Okay, I'm making money for what? Answer that. To be financially free, whatever it is. Okay, but why? Why do I want to be financially free? So I can do blank. Well, why is that important to you? Like, I want you to ask yourself as many whys as you can until you get to the very, 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 very end. Homework. Try to figure out where the fall off is. Like, where are you stuck in answering the question of why? Like, figure that out, because that's really the next step for you. I want you guys to write this down. And if you guys can, like literally, write this down. Note takers are money makers. This is who I am. This is who I am, so this is what I do. And I want you guys to really think about that. The last thing I want you guys to write down, if you can, and I want you to think about is, I generated money so that I could do blank. Did I actually do that? Whatever that blank was, did I actually do that? I made money so I could put $1,000 into whatever your thing is. Then I want you to ask yourself, did I do that? I keep like a list. You guys can't see my screen. I have a digital list on the right hand. I use sticky notes, like the digital kind. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things on the right hand of this specific computer. I'm making money so that I can do blank. Well, did I do that? Blank. Once I've done it, I just delete the sticky note. That's a really good question, dude. How do you keep your focus on the long game and not the current struggles? I've had a lot of, I'm going to answer this just as me. I've had a lot of struggles lately. Just came out of a lawsuit. Nothing trading related. Nothing even like legitimate. Just came out of a lawsuit. I'm about to go into another lawsuit. Paul, you're the only person this will be relevant to. Our landlord at the Huntington Bank buildings, he's going to sue me. A lot of different financial things, a lot of different family and health related things. And it has felt like, I made a post about this the other day. It has felt like I've gone from fall to winter to extreme winter to Antarctica winter to whatever is worse than that. And people think of seasons like it goes from spring to summer. Like, Your next season's better. And that's not really true because your next season might be worse. And then you're thinking, oh, it's winter, it's going to get better. Like when people talk about, oh, you're just in a tough season, they're normally saying, oh, you're in winter, spring is coming. But there's like a second winter, a third winter, a fourth winter, a fifth winter sometimes. It's not four seasons. That's not how it works. So, what's the best way to describe this? I have this very strange ability to endure pain and to endure pain and to really not let it cripple me. Does it affect me? Yeah. Does it cripple me? No. And I think the reason for that, and some people really have this and some people don't. Like, I don't know how this happened, but I am a very, 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 very selfless and a very giving person. So I'll take it all, baby. Like give me everything. Give me all the burdens, give me all the pain, give me all the hardship. You know, if you're a parent, you know what I'm talking about. If you ever said, man, like if I could take my kid's sickness and just I'll have the sickness and not them, I'll do that. You guys know what I'm talking about. I have that ability and it doesn't bother me a lot. So, number one, just the ability to endure freaking a massive amount of stress and pain. And then number two, just being super selfless has kept me above water and kept me moving. The other side of it, dude, is I fully believe that I can create whatever I need to create. I think that that's a gift. But anyway, I don't know if that helps. Guys, much love. Thanks for hanging out with me a little bit today. I hope this sparked some thoughts and some ideas. Make sure you guys do the homework. Enjoy your weekend. It's Easter weekend. Be very memorable, or keep that in mind. You know, this is it's a special week. Keep that in mind. Perseverance to turn pain into purpose. I have this. Here's a really good quote for you. And if I'm looking out this way, it's because it's on my wall over here. Success. Here's a good one for you, Paul, and for everybody. Success is walking from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. I think that's what it says. Winston Churchill said that. Success is walking from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. That's a good one. He is risen indeed. Cool. Much love, guys. Catch ya.